Okay, so one of my trips up to Bay 1 Customs, TC's here. He's got the reverse wheel standing 68, is it 68? Yeah, 68 Camaro. And it's all dolled up with products that we actually really like. The heatshield products, whole product line is outstanding. You've been working with them how many years?
Oh God, it's probably been 4 or 5 years now using the products.
Yeah, and of course it's an American-made company, it's a family-owned company, they're really great people. Aside from all of that, if we didn't know from Adam, I would still be using their products. What about you?
Yeah, and I've used a bunch of them on this car right here that we're fixing to show you about. So
yeah. Tell me and everybody else about the car.
Well, it's a 68 Camaro that came in here with a rock stock 350. Well, it had some mild modifications. And the Jeremy Clark, the owner of this car, so happened to have a Steve Schmidt racing engine. A 13-to-1 full solid rotor engine, and we decided to put it in here. It's like 660 horsepower. So I told him being 13-to-1, it's going to have to run on racing fuel, and it's subject to break everything from the flywheel to the back. So he hollered around a minute and said, well, we'll buy racing fuel by the drum, and we'll fix the shit as it breaks. I said, all right, let's go.
So you bring up an interesting point. Street car, racing engine, it's going to build crazy heat. Never mind the stuff that it's going to break in the driveline chain, but you know, you got the exhaust wrapped, right?
Yep, got the exhaust wrapped all the way out. And that worked out really nice. When I started this up before I wrapped the exhaust, you had the little bit of pinging through the pipes and stuff. Once I put that heat shield on there, it made it muffle a little bit to where it just enhanced the sound back here so well. It sounds great.
Well, when you and I built Jaded, you remember, of course, we wrapped the whole entire exhaust from the header collectors back with lava wrap.
Yep.
And it completely changed the sound of that car. And it gave it a really unique sound because it was, the exhaust system was about this long and dumped ahead of the axle. But it gave it a real interesting sound, but more importantly, the cabin temperatures, I didn't suffer for that. It didn't radiate a bunch of heat, so it did its job, and it kind of gave a cool custom effect, on top of looking outstanding, just like this one does.
Yeah, and I hope that helps me out because we had to put a really large fuel system, 8-in lines in it, and they got close to the exhaust a little bit. Yeah. So I was able to wrap that exhaust in that area and wrap the fuel lines in that area as well.
Well, I'll get you to fire up in a second, but let's go look under the hood, see what you've done under there.
Sounds good. Let's go.
In the first place, this is really clean and sanitary. What I like about you, about the way you build a car, is that everything is tidy. There's nothing there that doesn't need to be there, and everything's tucked out of the way. Nice job on this engine bay, man.
Thank you. Yeah, and then we're excited to see what it'll do. This is a 383 stroker, 660 horsepower, 13-to-1, full solid roller, and I have no idea what it's going to do, but it's going to be fun, I'm sure.
Well, we've got ceramic coated long tube headers, and if they're good ones, they're coated on the inside and the outside, right?
Yep.
So that's its own heat shield. It passes the exhaust gas charge down in through without radiating heat into the engine bay. But you've got some wrap on the other side on the heater hoses. Is that just to isolate from the header heat?
Yeah, well, yeah, and that header heat will rise continuously on those hoses, and they'll get extremely hot. So I wrap those in that lava wrap to keep that from happening. So that hose don't swell and get hot.
Cool. So I'm seeing a fuel pressure regulator. I'm seeing, well, there's a line lock sitting here. You got all the good stuff, all the cool toys. What is this?
That's a vacuum canister. So we put in a vacuum pump because this engine has no vacuum at idle. So we're just having to modify and change other things to make this user-friendly on the street, if that's even possible.
Yeah.
So we'll have good disc brakes with this vacuum reservoir. And then I went and bought another one of these and fabricated it in as a overflow tank. So it looks pretty cool.
Yep, it looks pretty cool. I don't know what else to say. This is outstanding. Let's hear it run.
All right, let's fire it up.
Cool. Sound, that tight popping sound.
I think it's a 13-to-1 engine.
Man, I didn't even. It sounds out of this world.
Yeah, it sounds like half a dozen men in there chopping wood, don't it?
It does. And okay, I can smell that race fuel too.
Yeah,
wow.
At $10 a gallon, 114 octane was $100 for 10 gallons.
Man, it comes up on the R's real quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
I absolutely love it.
Unreal.
I've only made one short little test drive real easy, and I'm working my nerve up to get on it a little more. But
yeah. Well,
it is going to be a handful.
That's a street tire right there. They're Nittos, but that's,
Oh, it's going to annihilate that.
And you told me it's a 10-bolt axle, right?
It is a 10-bolt in there right now. That's a good thing that it has a tire to spin, because it's liable to rip an axle right too.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll be around to see that. Let's look underneath. TC, tell me about this stuff underneath the car. This looks clean as heck, man.
Yeah, I've got to give a big shout out to Bruce Hay for sending me all this out. He sent me out the lava wrap, and I got it wrapped in here real nice. Then he sent me out the muffler shields, and they look real nice, and they're keeping all that heat off the floor, and it's just a good look and a good solid repair or fix right here for the heat and the sound.
Yeah, I put the muffler shields on Zed's sled, and let me tell you what. I mean, that car didn't radiate anything up into the cabin, and it's an easy, simple DIY project and a really neat product.
Yep, and if you can see up in there where I've got these wrapped and where the plumbing is for the fuel lines, I've wrapped them in some heat shield products wrap as well, and keeps that heat down off that fuel line.
Well, I mean, this car was just running, and you're able to run your hand along that 3-inch exhaust pipe.
Yep, works like a champ. So
Very cool.
Thanks Heat Shield for another good product.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is outstanding, man.
All right, well, let's go test drive it.
Okay, I'm in.